Can you guys just what a day to be a Devils fan, guys? Can you just verify that you can hear me? I was working through some technological issues from last week. I'm hoping those are behind us now. Can someone in the chat just verify that you can hear me? We get this thing started. Chat, folks. Anyone? Bueller? All right, all right. Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And before I get into today's excitement, let me just recap real quick. Your boy is running on very low energy. I was in Philadelphia last night for the Utica Devils, dressed as the New Jersey versus the Philadelphia Flyers. I was actually in the locker room, got to talk to Kevin LeBanc. Tom Fitzgerald must sign this man immediately. But I got a lot of awesome videos from warm-ups, the Kevin Dineen post-game interview. Like I said, I asked Kevin LeBanc a question. All those videos are on the channel now, so please check those out. Really cool stuff, exciting experience for me. Thank you very much. On that front, the Devils win a big one today, beating the Buffalo Sabres and Lindy Ruff by a score of 4-1 in Game 1 of the Global Series from Prague, Czechia. Seamus Casey makes his NHL debut. Jacob Markstrom looks like an absolute beast. We get scoring from throughout the lineup, second line, third line, fourth line, defensemen. This team is going to have a balanced attack. We are not only going to rely on the top line every night. Heavier, edgier, more violent. All preseason, Sheldon Keefe was preaching, play with pace, sprint. We're going to be physical. And the boys did just that today. It was a beautiful sight to see. Absolute poetry. The new guys are the story of the day. Absolutely the story of the day. Stefannoesen opening up with a beautiful goal. Paul Cotter, my man Paul Cotter. I had faith in Paul Cotter. I went out there on a limb with my hot take, predicting him to have 41 points. And as of right now, he's on pace for 164. Cotter with a goal and an assist, +2 with a block shot and 2 hits. My God, Paul Cotter is becoming one of my new favorites. Jonathan Kovacevic on the blue line, a goal and an assist, a +2, a block shot for him with 2 hits. Brendan Dillon +1, playing a second shy of 23 whopping minutes, registering 3 hits and a block shot. Jacob Markstrom looking like the elite stud that we all hoped he would be, saving 30 on 31 shots. He had that insane stick save in the first period. It might be save of the year in Game 1 on the NHL calendar. I personally am a lunatic, and I would go back to him tomorrow if he said he was up for it, but I know we're not. That doesn't happen in today's game, and that's a whole story for another day. But what an absolutely beautiful performance. The New Jersey Devils looking like a completely different team than we saw in the preseason on Long Island against the Islanders. They've shaken the cobwebs, shaken the rust. They are adjusting to Sheldon Keefe's system, playing with speed, sprinting, hitting. Jesper Bratt recorded 3 hits today. My God, I don't know if he's ever had a 3-hit game in his career. Everybody is throwing the body. The system will work. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. It's only Game 1, but guys, I've believed in this team all summer after these additions. I've told you all, I thought the heavier, edgier, more violent mantra was absolutely needed for this team. Fitzy went out and got the pieces with Nason and Cotter. We got beefier on the blue line with Kovacevic and Brendan Dillon. And wow, what a steal. Jonathan Kovacevic, I think, is, he was penciled in as a depth defenseman going into the season because of these injuries. He got his way into the opening night roster. This man is going nowhere. He is an absolute monster. We stole him for a 4th rounder from Montreal. It might be one of the best deals Fitz ever makes in his career, honestly. This guy's looking like a mainstay. Love the game he brings. He had a monster game today. Again, a goal and an assist for 2 points, +2, 3 block shots. Love to see it. And Cotter's a dog, man. Cotter's a dog. Oh, my God, the meat line. Guys, I nearly lost my voice. Like I said, I'm still reeling from last night. I didn't have much sleep. I was in the locker room in Philly, spoke to a couple guys, long drive home, editing videos all night, woke up early watching pregame stuff. But this has been one of the most exciting, by far for me, regular season games in a while. I've been looking forward to this opening night since we got eliminated from the playoffs and played our last game. I think it was April 15th. And my God, I mean, wow, the team just looked like everything you had hoped to see in the preseason. Unfortunately, we did not. But fortunately, Game 1, new team, they were looking dominant. They kind of fell asleep later in the game in the third period. They kind of got worked over. I don't know if we maybe shot all of our energy or whatever in the first 2 periods, but Jacob Markstrom is looking like that dude, the guy that I believe he could be. I think when he's on his game, he is a top 10 goaltender in this league. He is capable of being elite, and he's capable of stealing games. And to be honest, with subpar goaltending like we got last year, while the Devils, carried the play early, this game could have been lost with bad goaltending. I truly believe that. Markstrom made some, several insane saves and held down the fort. It was just from top to bottom, everything you want to see. Let me just scan a couple other things here. But wow, the new guys are the story of the day. Nason and Cotter and Kovacevic and Markstrom. Oh my God. Seamus Casey looking like he belonged with a block and 2 hits of his own, playing a little over 13 minutes. And this is the team we were all hoping to see. I think we are going to be turning the corner for real here. I don't think this is, some sort of facade or just one game thing. I believe this team is going to be dangerous all great defending with good defense, balanced scoring from throughout the lineup, physicality, speed. We have the personnel to do it. Keith is implementing his system. And the sky is the limit, guys. The sky is the limit. I am super jacked. I probably will not be able to sleep again tonight leading up to tomorrow's game. Shout out to Traveling Devil 76, a regular here. He sent me some cool videos I'm going to put up at some point tonight. He was in Prague. I don't know if he's in here right now. I saw his name earlier. But this is exactly what we wanted to see. A nearly complete effort. Again, we kind of fell asleep in the end. But scoring from up and down the lineup, Kovacevic chipping in, guys throwing the body, blocking shots. Let me just read the stats real quick. Devils 23 shots on goal. Fell asleep, like I said, in that third period. Didn't muster a lot of offense to see more, but 31 shots on goal for the Sabres. Devils getting slightly worked over in the faceoff circle, 42.4% to 57.6% for the Sabres. Devils 0 for 2 on the power play. Sabres 0 for 4 on the power play. Devils with 25 hits. Love to see it. Let's go for 30 tomorrow. Sabres equal with 25 hits as well. 17 block shots for the Devils, 15 for the Sabres. Devils with 22 giveaways. We're going to, I'm sure, have some post-game meetings and video or something about that. We can't be giving away that much. Sabres with 12 giveaways. Devils with 2 takeaways, and the Sabres with 5. But like I said, guys, hits and block shots, 2 of those stats that just kind of go under the radar a lot. And those are, to me, the telltale sign of winners and winning teams. And I'd love to see the hits plus block shots over 40. I think that's a pretty good, bar to set. And we had 25 hits and 17 block shots, 42. Love to see it. The boys did the damn thing overseas in Prague, opening up the season with this massive 4-1 win. And hopefully they bring the same kind of energy and tenacity tomorrow. They were absolute dogs, and without a goal from that top line, winning game 4-1. And that is going to be one of the keys, in my opinion, to the season is getting that balanced scoring. Can we get goals from other guys? Can we get sporadic offense from the defense on nights where, maybe some guys aren't going at their best? The top line scored no goals and we won 4-1. Who would have thought that would be the story of tonight, that we win 4-1 and Bratt, Timo Meyer, and Jack Hughes combined have 0 goals? I mean, you love to see it. Obviously, we want to get the top line going as well. But this is the sign of a balanced roster, top to bottom. And these are the type of teams that go deep in the playoffs, especially when they're playing with that pace, playing with that physicality. This is starting to feel real for me. I believed in the team all season long. I put up my prediction video yesterday, I believe, and I have some pretty bold predictions for some of these guys as well as the team as a whole. But I saw everything I wanted to see and more today. I couldn't be more pleased, fighting off this fatigue, trying to get my voice back. But what an effort from this club. And I'm on a high right now, guys. We've been waiting, nearly 5 months, 6 months, sorry, almost 6 months for this from our last regular season game. And this is it was just a beautiful work of art here tonight. Now I'm going to dive into these comments here and see what you guys have to say about this. But what a game. Traveling Devil on scene in Prague. We'll be there again tomorrow. Lance Schneider, so jacked after a big Devils win. I think we all are, man. I got the adrenaline flow. It is flowing for sure. What up, Rusty Stick Figs? Way to start off the year. Absolutely beautiful start to the season. Couldn't have asked for more. Richard, let's make it 2 in a row tomorrow morning. Amen. Would love to see that. Coming home with those 4 points was the goal, and we're halfway there. We're halfway there. Ah! Jackson Levine, what a game, man. What a game. What a game. Well, I think that's supposed to say Markstrom was playing like bro. Uh, and he did. It was reminiscent of the dominant goaltending we had for nearly 2 decades with the great Martin Brodeur. Anderson, Seamus looked awesome, going to be great on the squad. Yeah, it's Seamus Casey makes his NHL debut and doesn't stick out in a bad way in any way. Looks like he belonged. He did all preseason. Rooting for the kid. When Luke and Pesci come back, there's going to be some difficult decisions to be made because after a game like this and after the preseason, honestly, I don't see how Kovacevic could even come out of the lineup. And I think it's going to be really tough when Luke and Pesci return. Who are going to be the guys coming out? I'd have to think it most likely will be Casey just so he could get that experience in Utica. That's where they wanted him, and that was their plan for him from the beginning of the season. Nothing would surprise me, but Kovacevic is a big body, does a lot. He's chipped in offensively today. I think it's going to be a really tough decision if it comes down to, removing one of those guys from the lineup because they've both been playing great. We have goaltending, Morgan. We absolutely have goaltending. Jacob Markstrom is here for this season and next. And I am hoping to see countless gem performances like the one we saw from him today. There's going to be nights where he steals us games. He held down the fort today. I do believe with subpar goaltending like we had last year, we could have lost that game. We absolutely could have lost the game. They had tons of great chances. What's going on, Ted Ace? This is the Devils' year. I hope so, man. I will cry tears of joy on this very show if the Devils win the Stanley Cup. I predicted them to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals. I hope I'm wrong. Would love to see them win the cup, and I do believe they're capable, and I've been saying that for months as well. A lot of people told me I was crazy, yada yada. But I believe in this club. I think I just jacked up the camera a little bit here. There we go. I'm pounding the I'm getting all excited. I hope the Devils win tomorrow. We all do. Coming back with those 4 points would be a beautiful start to the young season before we're off for 5 days. Yeah, and it's with the early start too. I mean, yeah, there's no chance. But if this was years ago and this was the great Martin Brodeur, he'd be in somebody's office right now, like I'm playing tomorrow. You're not stopping me. But we will see Jake Allen tomorrow. Yeah, again, I'm a lunatic. If I would ask Markstrom, like, if you feel good to go, the net is yours. We don't play for another 5 days, so it's not like anything crazy. He would have plenty of rest, but I digress. I'm a strong proponent of ride the hot hand, especially if they're an elite goaltender. I believe Markstrom is, but sports science and analytics, it's not going to happen. Heavier, edgier, more violent. I cannot preach this enough. From the day Tom Fitzgerald uttered these words on a TSN interview, when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, they finally get it. After years of this team being undersized and, in my opinion, fairly weak, young kids getting battered around by the violent gentlemen of the NHL. And I have to thank Matt Rempe for this. Thank you, Matt Rempe, because without Matt Rempe, the supervillain battering our team around the ice with no repercussions whatsoever, no retaliation, no answer, without Matt Rempe giving that blatant display of how weak the Devils were in this department, I don't think it would have been the wake-up call that the front office needed. That was that like turned the light on. It was like, hey guys, your team's pathetic. Bah, 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 bah. Smacked them around, put a huge spotlight on the problem of you are undersized, you are weak, you need to get grittier, you need to get heavier, edgier, more violent. And without Matt Rempe, I don't know that we get here today. And now I believe the roster is constructed with a nice mixture of skill and these gritty guys and some guys that are a little bit gritty and a little skilled that could win these grind games throughout the season, win these tough, close battles, and go deep in the playoffs. That is what we are here for. We are here to win a Stanley Cup. And without these types of guys in the lineup, you are not going to win a Stanley Cup. We all saw what the Panthers have done the last 2 seasons. Went to the finals and lost, and then made it all the way back to the finals and beat the Oilers in the Cup this year. And they're a team that's built like this. 4 lines, grind it out, gritty, heavy, punish you, play the physical game. And the Devils are getting there. And this is just game 1. I absolutely love to see it. Hello, Seabones. Let's go, Devils. Yeah, tomorrow's game is early. I might have to enjoy that one with a local Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. But yeah, early games are not my thing. Um, I wish it was 1 o'clock again, but, it's an early game. What are you gonna do? I guess because it's 6 hours ahead local time, but I don't know why they couldn't have had, it's 6 hours, so today's game started at 7 o'clock there, like, why couldn't you just do that again? I'm not really sure. 10 AM is absolutely brutal. Jason, let's go. And Jackson, you make a great point, and we don't even have Brett Pesce yet. We don't have Pesce or Luke, and this is with, 2 guys that weren't supposed to be in the lineup on defense starting in game 1 in the Global Series. It is absolutely crazy, and what they've done is a complete 360 from that pathetic game we saw on Long Island. They must have, I don't know what it was on the plane. Maybe they got some nice snacks and little airplane bottles from the nice hotel bar in Prague. Whatever it was, they snapped out of it, whether it was seeing all those kids in Czechia or maybe Palat gave them some local cuisine. Whatever it was, we have seen a completely different team after a few days of practice in Prague. They came out there tonight. They kicked ass, did exactly what we all were hoping for, and you couldn't ask for more. A 4-1 win would have, I mean, if I'm being greedy, I would have loved to see Markstrom in his regular season Devils debut start with a shutout. I mean, that would have been amazing, but he looked like a freak. Jacob Markstrom is going to carry this team this year and next, and I'm hoping it could be far, completely far. It was a little bit of a quiet night for the top line, but again, when you have a well-balanced lineup from top to bottom, that's okay. We don't need them to be superheroes every game. Just be superheroes in a lot of games. But in some games where they're a little bit quiet, bam, second line scoring from Nico Hischier. Bam, scoring from the third line with stefannoesen. Bam, fourth line empty net goal, Paul Cotter. And how about keep trusting the meat line out there in that scenario? Trying to protect a 2-goal lead, empty net. He throws the meat line out, and they're like, we're gonna take this home. Cotter, empty net goal. My man Cotter with 2 points on the night. Let's go. My hot take was 41 points on the season for him. He's on pace for 164. How do you like those apples? Obviously, he's not going to have 164 points, but a brilliant start to the regular season for Paul Cotter. And Val, I did touch on the second half of the game. The Devils did kind of fall asleep. Maybe they just, got a little lackadaisical because they had the lead. Maybe, they extended a lot of the energy early on and kind of shot their, energy and all the excitement. But either way, a win is a win, a 4-1 win. And sorry, Lindy. Sorry we had to do this to you, but this team has just been we've been looking to do this. We have been looking to do this. I believe in this club, and I am just jacked for the year. And this just cemented it. Obviously, it wouldn't have been the end of the world if we lost the game, but it is a nice thing to start off on the right foot with a nice win like this, with contributions from all the new guys, with all these things to be excited about, because the preseason just had us down in the dumps. And yes, it doesn't count, but when you see that and you're like, a little bit of PTSD from the year before, we missed the playoffs, everyone's kind of down. I've been looking forward to this day since we came out, since we got eliminated in April. We cannot be missing the playoffs anymore. This team needs to return to their winning ways of the Lou Lamoriello era. And I think Sheldon Keefe getting hired was a great hire for this squad. I've liked him. I was a little bit on the fence about him. He was high on my list. There's a couple, or at least one other guy I would have preferred over him if you had asked me in the summer. And I said that in a bunch of videos. But it seems like the guys are really buying into his system, and that's push the pace, sprint everywhere, play with speed, physical. Physical, 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 and that's how you grind teams down and you win hockey games. This is a physical league. This is the National Hockey League. You need to play physical to win. And now the guys are buying into that, and the results are there. This is a proven formula for winning teams. This is just not something someone pulled out of the sky. Yes, you need finesse, you need skill, but you need more than that. You need character guys that are going to put their body out there, block the shots, throw the hits. You need the Lazars, you need the Cotters, you need the Kovaceviches, you need the Brendan Dillons. And I'm hoping that this team is now constructed as just a beautiful blend of all the pieces of a winning team. And I think they have the hallmarks of it. I really do. Richard Tompkins, considering we didn't have much of a preseason, they impressed me. Yeah, essentially, we had one game as a dress rehearsal with the NHL club. Obviously, it was very underwhelming. We all kind of had a bad taste in our mouth. And whatever happened between then and now, whether it was the practices, like I said, maybe some of the local Prague cuisine, maybe some of the boys went out and met some of the local Prague women. Whatever it was, they looked like a new group. They did what they had to do, took care of business, played Sheldon Keefe, New Jersey Devils hockey, and it was beautiful. Looking like the team that addressed what should have been addressed after 22, 23, but was not realized until last season. I mean, JP, to um, you make a valid point there, but I think you could gloss over some deficiencies of a roster when you have a franchise record-setting year with 112 points, and you go to the playoffs and you beat the Rangers in a beautiful 7-game series after trailing 2-0, and you fought back and you showed so much heart. I do think it's easier for, someone like Fitz and whoever else in the analytics department, all these people to be like, well, we didn't like XYZ, but the results were there. And I think that could be kind of a blinding element. And I've said in numerous videos on this very channel, I do believe this team, at least on paper, is a better version of that 22-23 team. And the reason I say that is all the core pieces are still here. The core four: Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meyer. We re-signed Mercer and Dougie Hamilton. He was injured. Everything is here from that team, plus significant upgrades on defense and Brendan Dillon and Brett Pesce, who we haven't even seen yet. And the big X factor is we went from Vitek Vanacek and Akira Schmid to Jacob Markstrom, a guy who was nominated for a Vezina a couple seasons ago. I believe he is going to be revitalized in New Jersey in a new organization with new teammates, with some young guys hungry to win. Keefe is hungry to win. He's had a decorated career thus far, but has never been able to get over the hump and get to the Cup Finals or win a Cup. He's had success in the AHL, winning the Calder Cup with Toronto Marlies, a bunch of great regular seasons with the Maple Leafs, and they've obviously struggled in the playoffs. And, he's looking now to take that next step in his career with this club, as are these young guys. And I think it's a perfect storm for Markstrom to come in here in the later stages of his career and try to win a cup with this group. I really do. I love to see it. Elron, it's good to be back, baby. Yes, it is. Robert, Ace, old man Rob here again. I always get here late. Yes, a great day to be a Devil. Today was a pleasant Premier Shorts day. I couldn't agree more. Everything I wanted to see: a dominant performance by Markstrom, contributions to the new guy, scoring from throughout the lineup, physicality, blocking shots. It was a sight to see, and we need to see it again tomorrow. What's up, Devils fan? Says Stick Figs. Kevin, a nice start to the season. Let's see what shows up tomorrow. Hopefully the exact team we saw today, minus the kind of trail off in that third period. We got to play the 60 minutes. It's hard to judge when you have a lead like that. Maybe they fell back on their hind legs a little bit, and we have a more complete effort tomorrow. But in the end, I mean, what are you going to say? A 4-1 Devils win, and we just checked all the boxes. And this is what happens when you get heavier, edgier, more violent, with a more seasoned defensive group and a real goaltender. And that stick save, Markstrom, oh my God, I really think that might be save of the year in game 1 of the entire NHL schedule. We may have seen it already. What is going to top that? That actually reminds me, for you old school fans, that reminds me, it was different, but just in terms of being a crazy stick save. The great Martin Brodeur in the 1995 Stanley Cup Finals against the Red Wings, I forget what game it was, had an insane stick save on the goal line on a Red Wing. I'm gonna show you guys that later. I have to dig that up. I haven't seen it in a minute. But select a boy. What a win by the boys, and all they needed was to start on time. Yeah, we came out, and again, bucking the trend from last season, we get on the board first. That is going to be crucial for this group. While I do think they're going to, have the capability of coming from behind, and we've seen that a couple years on occasion as well. You don't want to be playing catch up. You want to play with the lead, put the pressure on the other teams, and make them bend, make them cough up pucks, make them make bad decisions, and get bigger leads and make other teams chase us instead of us chasing them. Last year was atrocious. I believe we broke the NHL record, or were damn close to it, for the most times in a season surrendering the first goal. I don't believe we're going to see that this season because of the short up defense with Jacob Markstrom in net. I firmly believe we are going to get on the board first more times than not. And that's a beautiful position to be playing from a position of power instead of weakness. David, let's go, boys. Let's go. We are so back. I agree, Luke. Great game. Absolutely. Jackson, we don't even have Pesce yet. Markstrom's just like, Jackson, please spell Brodeur right. It's one of my pet peeves. Brodeur. I know it's hard for a lot of people. Amagi Legacy, I love seeing depth scoring. It puts such a smile on my face, especially seeing Covey in the action. What an underrated pickup I feel. Kovacevic could end up being an absolute monster pickup for us. And the fact that Fitz got him from a 4th rounder, wow. I mean, again, everyone had this guy penciled in to be a depth defenseman coming into the season. Most likely not going to be in the opening night starting lineup. Obviously, Luke and Pesci are out. A lot of people thought Haddock would have been one of the next guys in for Luke. He gets injured as well. And so the stage was set for Kovacevic, the newly acquired Kovacevic from Montreal, to come right on in and fit in seamlessly and fit in absolutely seamlessly. Gem card collecting. Hey, Ace, we are first place in the NHL. Absolutely. I will enjoy it for however long it lasts. Kyle, so excited to have this defensive depth. Absolutely. Another thing that Fitz realized in the offseason was, the Dougie injury was obviously a significant blow to this Devils club, and then compounded by other injuries. We missed a ton of man games from all different guys throughout the season, and we suffered as a result. Dougie Hamilton being back in the lineup is a massive addition. This is driving me crazy. This is driving me absolutely crazy. Dougie Hamilton being back in the lineup is a massive addition with his shot from the point, with his ability to move pucks, with his hockey sense and everything that he brings. He is one of the best defensemen in the game, in my opinion. And I do believe he should have been nominated for a Norris in that 22-23 season. And they gave Adam Fox a nomination. I thought Dougie was definitely worthy of one. But I think he will get his respect in due time. I'm expecting a big season from him. He's a big part of this team, and hopefully he can stay healthy as well. A lot of people you're pointing out, we don't even have Pesci in yet. Absolutely. Speaking of tough choices, I know I've been tough on Siegs, but shout out to him for a critical block shot in the second. Yeah, Siegenthaler didn't stick out, in a negative way today. I think he may have had a couple hits. I remember he crunched somebody early in the game. Let me see. Let's just look at our boy Siegenthaler. Yeah, Siegenthaler with an assist, a +2 in 21 minutes played, one shot, 3 blocks, and 3 hits. Okay. I see you. I see you. I see you, Jonas Siegenthaler. I see you. I think Siegenthaler knows that the pressure is on for him now, because with all of the defensive depth we have and guys gunning for spots, he knows he very well could be the odd man out at some point. And so, shout out to Siegenthaler with an under the radar, very good game today. Kevin, I am getting ready for a deep run into the playoffs. Yeah, we got a long ways for that. But after what we saw today, if we just see this New Jersey Devils hockey club night in and night out, we are obviously going to go to the playoffs, and I'm hoping make a deep run, and I hope it ends with that big shiny silver cup. But I think it's going to be a special year for us, guys. I really do. I just had that feeling after Fitz's tinkerings this summer. I've been super critical of Fitz in the past, as a lot of you know, but I just felt like he really addressed the points I wanted to see this summer. Physical defenseman, check. Dylan's brought in, super physical. Top, I think he was number 10 in hits last season. And shout out to, I think it was Yo Holmes put in the comment of a different video that Dylan is third in the league in hits overall since he's come into the league. I mean, my God, hitting machine, sign me up. Kovacevic is a big, nasty man that we brought in on the blue line. And then obviously Cotter, Nason, it's just all the makings of a well-balanced, well-rounded, playoff-built team. And with Keefe's system and the guys buying in, the sky is the limit. Dennis, so that's what goaltending looks like. Absolutely, my man. That is what goaltending looks like. It was the Jacob Markstrom show tonight. Jacob Markstrom showed up, showed out, and the fans in Prague were treated to an absolutely beautiful performance in his NHL Devils regular season debut. And you couldn't ask for more. Zach, all right, can we please see that kind of effort all season? Great hockey. Yeah, and Dano was referring to either during the telecast or on the post game. Having depth is a beautiful thing because, obviously you're a little insulated from injuries, and we all know that injury cloud is still hovering over us somewhat. So you always want to have somebody, a quality NHL player waiting in the wings when injuries do happen. But B, it puts pressure on guys to perform night in and night out, knowing that they're looking over their shoulder. If you do not perform, we have player X, Y, and Z that will happily take your spot and give the effort we need. Competition is beautiful. Competition is beautiful. And when guys feel that, teams are on top. And that's a beautiful thing about the depth we have, both at forward and on defense. And I'm hoping we extend a contract to Kevin LeBanc, because I think he would add to the depth or add to the lineup right now. I'm not tinkering with anything just yet, but I think at league minimum, LeBanc would add to that depth. That stick save. This guy's he's butchering Brodeur. Come on, man. But that stick save, it might be save of the season. We may have seen it in game 1. I got to say, Siegs actually played really well, even with all the hate lately. I thought he looked good out there. He did. He definitely did. Let's see if he can keep it up. He's trying to hang on to a spot. Guys are gunning for your spot. Every guy in the lineup, be on alert. Someone is coming for your job. This is the National Hockey League. That stick save from Markstrom made my jaw drop. Thought it was for sure goal. Absolutely. I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of luck involved there, but all skill. Ridiculous save. Um, does SportsCenter do a top 10? I don't even. I haven't watched SportsCenter in years. It used to be a mainstay back in the times of regular TV before all the streaming and all these platforms and all this nonsense. I would regularly watch SportsCenter. And I always loved the top 10. Hockey always was kind of the outside sport looking in. In my opinion, they never got enough love on the top 10. But once in a while, when there was a phenomenal play, hockey would sneak its way into the top 10. That Markstrom play, you know, should be no less than a top 5 play. But I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that because that's definitely worthy of some national exposure on the ESPN stage. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, for all you old school heads. Aviation, well done, Devils. Yeah, I mean, wow. Wow, oh wow. Elron, also, I got to say, Cotter needs to get more recognition for that open net goal. If it wasn't an open net, he put himself in a position to have an amazing breakaway. Cotter is, that's the guy that I think is going to be a difference maker. I do. And I love him on the fourth line because I think it does make one of the best fourth lines in hockey, or at least has the potential to be, with Lazar and Bastion. With that being said, I also believe in Cotter's skill set more than a fourth liner, and I think he could play with fire in the lineup. But if the team is firing on all cylinders and the fourth line is doing what they need to do and he's on that, I'm okay with that as well. He's not going to love that role and would like an increased role and responsibility on the team. But if the team is clicking and he's part of that fourth line for good, then so be it. My hot take prediction coming into the season was he was going to have a career year with 41 points. A lot of you guys, I think, thought I was crazy. And I'm not, I'll be honest, guys. You guys all know I wear Ace wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I was, angry and upset a little bit after the trade was announced because I believed in Holtz. I thought he kind of got a raw deal from the organization. I thought Holtz was going to develop into that top 6 guy that we all wanted him to be, maybe a 25, 30 goal scorer. And I also believed in Akira Schmid. The kid came in when we were down and out, losing 2 games at home in the first round against the Rangers. He comes into the Garden and just puts on some great performances, leads us all the way back. We win in 7. I always liked Schmid. I always thought he kind of got a little bit of a raw deal as well. He got bounced up and down between the Devils and Utica, and I thought he deserved better. But either way, when that trade was made, I thought we overpaid for Cotter, and I was like, who's this Cotter guy? And then I started doing some deep research into him. I was reading about him. I watched a lot of his highlights, and it just seemed like, much like, in my opinion, Sharon Govich was a victim of the Devils' depth at forward at the time he was here. He was never going to get the opportunity to truly see his full potential. He was traded off to Calgary, and he flourished there. I am hoping for the exact, not to the same extent, obviously, so don't flame me. I'm not saying he's Sharon Govich, but a similar situation where he was on a team buried on the chart because of all the guys ahead of him, and Vegas just, for whatever reason, didn't believe in the potential, didn't want to give him the chance with all those guys ahead of him, and they shipped him to New Jersey, and, he has a complete turnaround and kind of breakout year, and I predicted that he will, and so far, so good. Game 1, a goal and an assist. Absolutely love the kid. And I think he's going to become a fan favorite. I really do. He named the line the meat line. Cotter looked great. If he keeps this up, I definitely won't miss Holtz. No, absolutely. I mean, listen, if Holtz, I wish him luck. He's in Vegas. If he went to the division or the conference, I would say he's dead to me. But he's out west. I'd like to see him do well and kind of get his career on the right track. It wasn't working out here. They cut bait on the experiment, even though he was a high draft pick, and a lot of people criticized the pick when they made it. And if the Devils had a time machine and could go back, I'm sure they would have loved to take Yaroslav Askarov, so we would have our future long-term goalie potentially in net. But it wasn't meant to be. It is what it is. We made the trade, and I think it's going to be a stroke of genius. I think it's going to prove to be a really good deal during the Tom Fitzgerald administration. Select the boy. I agree, Ace. That solved the problem of the Devils being soft last year. I mean, yeah, we got a lot. Oh my God, this chat is super. You guys are super chatty. Yeah, I mean, we brought in tough guys at forward and on defense, heavier, edgier, more violent, and they're playing that way as well. So now we have the personnel, we have the mindset and the system in place. This could be a special year. This could absolutely be a special year. Finally, we have the size, the edge, and the grit. We're no longer the New Jersey, I guess, Gimps or Limps. We're the Devils raise hell. Love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. It's a new year, new identity. And Sheldon Keefe hopefully can bring these boys to the promised land. Dylan Cotter, Lazar, Bastian, McDermott are not going to let a team that has pushed us around. Yeah, absolutely. I'm also curious to see how many games McDermott plays. I do like McDermott. One of our resident posters here, SST6601, longtime Devils fan, often bitter. Um, Hated the signing, didn't want to pay him. I love McDermott. I said he was Matt Rempe pest control. Give the guy his money, but I hope he plays, a good amount of games. With that being said, though, I mean the meat line is phenomenal, and so maybe we will see McDermott in very limited usages, only when they have a heavy on the other side, maybe in some conference games when we anticipate some shenanigans, and he's going to have to be out there patrolling to make sure nobody gets hurt or no one takes liberties with our boys. But that fourth line, I think, is something special if it stays intact. I agree 100%. Rempe. What's Taylor ham, Zach? Are you one of these pork roll guys? I don't know where you live, Zach. Taylor ham is the most delicious breakfast meat on God's green earth. I don't know where you live. If you live in New Jersey and maybe you're just trolling me because you're one of these South Jersey guys that calls it pork roll, it is absolutely Taylor ham, and it's the most delicious breakfast meat on the planet with an egg and cheese. Taylor ham, egg and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup on an everything bagel. One of the greatest sandwiches in the history of sandwiches. 100% agree on thanking Rempe. Can't believe I give him praise to the Rangers. Yeah, again, Rempe really put a spotlight on the issue. The Devils management was in denial. They didn't, they thought their analytics department with the skill and finesse and all these deep metrics, it's cool. I believe in that to some extent. However, the eye test told me for a couple years this team is young, they are undersized, they are weak, and we are getting punked around. And it took Matt Rempe to really just prove that in spades. There was no denying it after that point. He smashed Bastian. Siegenthaler smacked him to the ground, and it was terrible. It was terrible, and it kind of put the ball in motion for a change in the organizational mindset. It was like, no, this is not what we are going to be. We are not going to be this team that gets smacked around. And then we went out and got muscle, and we got guys that could score, guys that could hit, guys that could fight, heavier, edgier, more violent. That is the way. New Jersey Devils hockey now has an identity. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Oh, Rusty, I forgot on the West Coast, 7 a.m. That is absolutely brutal. Good luck to you, sir. That would be killer for me. Doug, got to say Dawson Mercer looks like a real menace this season. Him and Nico will be a great duo with Tatar, maybe even LeBanc. Oh, man. It's going to be real interesting what happens with Kevin LeBanc, but I think you're going to see Mercer on penalty kill and power play at some points. And he just got to bring that energy, and hopefully it translates into the score sheet. I'm hoping for a big year from him as well, but glad to see that we avoided a long-term holdout like what the Bruins are experiencing with Jeremy Swayman, and Dawson is here, and I believe he's going to be a big piece of this team for years going forward. Zach, Kovacevic looking like a stud out there. I really like his game. Couldn't agree more. Fitz stole him. Fitz absolutely stole him for a fourth rounder. A lot of Montreal fans were writing on and comments and things when I was talking about him in the summer, and they're like, we think you guys got a really good player there. And, he's going to have an opportunity ahead of him in New Jersey. And he's so far so good for Kovacevic. Can't say enough good things about him. Will you be there for opening night game on October 10th? Absolutely, I will be. Yeah, and this is the question. Who sits defensively when Pesce and Luke is back? Seamus and Nemitz. Absolutely not Nemitz. Nemitz is here to stay. If you're going, conventional wisdom would say when Pesce and Luke come back, the two guys holding their spots right now would come out, which is Kovacevic is holding Pesce's spot, and Casey is holding Luke's. However, I don't know how you take Kovacevic out. Another big body, blocking shots. He showed his offensive ability tonight. And again, this is where it gets real interesting. There is no easy answers to this. There are no easy answers, but in no world, unless Nemitz struggles significantly, I could see him maybe sitting in the press box for a game or two. But as far as long term, Nemitz is here long term. Could he possibly be scratched in favor of another guy if Sheldon Keefe wants to give him a little kick in the behind? Sure, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. But long term, Nemitz is here to stay, and so the quick answer is the guys holding the spots now, Casey and Kovacevic, but Kovacevic is looking like he belongs for sure, and so it's going to be really hard decisions as far as the defensive group goes when we are fully healthy. And that's why a guy like Siegenthaler, I think, could be on the bubble. And he probably knows that. He's seeing all these guys play well. Casey making his debut, having a great preseason, the new guy Kovacevic looking amazing. And so no one wants to be that odd man out. And so everyone has to elevate their game. And hopefully it just continues to keep these guys sharp, game in and game out. Brat with 3 hits. So, yeah, I said that earlier. Hilarious stat. Same for Dylan Season Hall. Love to see it. Love to see it. Let's see the hit parade all season long. Block shots, hits, heavier, edgier, more violent. New Jersey Devils hockey under Sheldon Keefe has an identity, and this is a winning way. Where is McDermott? McDermott was in the press box, watching from the press box. I'm sure we will see him in the lineup probably in one of the first week or two at home. Mercer is building his game like Nico's, more two-way hockey, not just dance and dazzle goal scorer. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to be one of those well-rounded players that can be relied on in all situations, just like Nico. Those guys are very valuable to teams and especially valuable to winning teams. You need guys like this in the lineup that are capable of getting it done in all scenarios. And Dawson Mercer could be one of those guys kind of learning from Nico Hischier. Chris Wilson, great win for the boys. Absolutely, it was. Markstrom became a cheat code this game. He was absolutely on fire. That line was sloppy. Still concerned about Jack and his dumb plays. I think Jack in time is going to learn to maybe simplify the game a little bit. I think we often, see nights where he tries to force it a little too much, tries to keep the puck on his stick a little too long. And I think that's, something that he's probably done for the majority of his career since he was a kid. And I think Keefe will find a way to kind of break him of it. I do think a lot of people have kind of had the sentiment about him, and it is true. There's some nights where you see he just tries to do too much. He'll, hang on and try to dance through 6 guys, and it's beautiful. 5 guys. It's beautiful when it works, but when it doesn't work, you're like, there was a simpler or easier play to be made there, and maybe we see him kind of, simplify the game a little bit and try to get other guys involved more. But that's also part of what makes him great. So I think it's going to be a delicate balance for Sheldon Keefe to kind of get Hughes and the rest of that top line going. But once they get going, I think they're going to be a force. Probably lose if we don't have Markstrom. Yeah, I pointed that out earlier with a lot of other goalies, we could have lost today's game easily. They had tons of grade A chances, and Markstrom, did the damn thing. Couldn't have asked for a better debut. Great point on Mercer. Great two-way play today. Absolutely. Stop doubting Cotter. He's getting 164 points. Let's see what Allen can bring tomorrow. Hopefully the Devils play like they did today, again, minus the trail off at the end. If they play like they did today and Allen doesn't put up a stinker, that should be more than enough to win for Allen. It really should. I want Cotter playing with Nico. Call me crazy. I think you might see nights where Cotter might get looks on the top line. I mean, I do think maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too much, but after reading about him and seeing some of these highlight plays and just seeing his game, I think he could play on any line. I really do. And again, if the team looks great as a whole and it's with him as a fourth line guy, so be it. But if it comes down to it and there's anyone struggling, they start, putting the lines in a blender and juggling it up a little bit. Cotter's going to get chances at higher lines, and I think he's going to produce no matter where he goes. I absolutely love his entire game. Bench Tuna, old slug. Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I mean, listen, I wasn't in love with the signing, and it was just one of those kind of budget signings, a little bit into free agency where, again, they were hoping to recapture the magic of, that line had 2 seasons ago on that beautiful 22-23 season with Tatar, with Nico and Mercer. And if it's not there, I don't know that we'll see him benched, but you never know. I mean, if he really struggles, there's plenty of bodies looking to get into this lineup, and I think a lot of guys that can produce at the NHL level. You'd love to see the depth. These are great problems to have. When you're calling for guys that are not playing to be playing, you have great depth. Third period was but the start was worthwhile. Came in fast and tough. Yeah, they kind of fell asleep. At one point, I think we were getting outshot like 12-2 in that period, and you hate to see that. Again, not to make excuses, but maybe because they were comfortably in the lead and they expended a lot of energy early. Their first regular season game in the Sheldon Keefe era, playing that heavier, edgier, more violent, sprinting, hitting everybody. Maybe, something that's going to take a couple games to get accustomed to be able to do that for an entire game. But wow, man. Wow. Oh, wow. What a high I am on right now. James, I'm happy, brother. A true believer would have been better if I wasn't working. Great to see you, brother. Thank you for watching, James. check out the replay later or the highlights. This was one for the ages. Buffalo had a lot of pressure in this game, no doubt. But shout out to the boys for holding it down. Yeah, they bent at some points, but they never broke, and a lot of that goes to Jacob Markstrom. I mean, what an outing in net. Call me greedy, but I want 2 more points tomorrow. Absolutely. You now must go into tomorrow as we need these 2 points as well. I mean, a split in a global series wouldn't be, the worst thing, but now after you take the first one, you're like, "Let's go back and get it again, boys. Let's go home with 4 points." That should be the mission, and I'm sure Sheldon Keefe is gonna be preaching that. I'm curious to know with the quick turnaround with the early game, what is on the team's agenda for tonight? Maybe they'll have, like, a team dinner or something, have a couple beverages or Coca-Colas, as Ken Danico calls it, and hit the hay early. I'd be curious to know what their routine is on a thing like this. Anyone else watch the game during work? LOL, I had the power bank going so I can watch the whole game. Nice. Devils first place in the standings. Yep. Solid effort from both teams last season. Devils would have crumbled fast in the back half of the game. And I think that's going to be the difference. You're going to be able to see this team weather storms, weather attacks, be able to survive surges and waves from the other teams. And that is a great point you make there, Zach. Last season, a lot of times when teams would turn it up on us, we would just fold and crumble. That they would bring it on and start coming in those waves, and the Devils would give up 2 and 3 goals over a 3-minute span. Everyone looks dejected. You see the body language, and you're like, "Oh my god, like this is pathetic." I do not think that will be a characteristic from last season that we will see carry over to this season because of the new coach with his system, with the new personnel. I believe this lineup is much improved over last year, exponentially improved, perhaps. And I don't think you're going to see this team fold up like that. If they have to go through those kind of phases of sustained pressure by the other team, I think they will be able to survive it. And we saw it tonight. Physicality and speed all for success in the NHL. Absolutely. There's a lot of teams that are physical. There's a lot of teams that are speedy, but we have the personnel to be both. We could be both physical and speedy, and it's a dangerous combo. I really like our roster. After Fitz tinkered this summer, made those trades, made those free agent signings, I really did like it. And a lot of people were doubting it. And again, this is game one. Let's not get carried away here. But, after waiting so long from the last regular season game, for the boys to come out there like they did tonight and put on the effort they did, it was exactly what you wanted to see. Scoring from the second line, scoring from the third line, scoring from the fourth line. Lots of hits, block shots, scoring from the defense, and it wasn't Dougie Hamilton. If you said, "Oh, we got a goal from the defense," with a healthy lineup, people would have been like, "Oh, was it Luke or Dougie?" No, man, it was Jonathan Kovacevic, and he may be here all season long. He may be here all season long. Devils Metro leaders never looking back. Love it. Love it. Never looking back. We just got to keep banking points. Markstrom again tomorrow? Absolutely not. I personally would do it. I'm a crazy person. I grew up in the old school league. I am a disciple of the Martin Brodeur way. And Marty played 79 games one year, 78, 77. Marty was an absolute animal, durable as all hell, commanded the net, demanded the starts. You rarely see back-to-back starts nowadays with the sports science and all this analytics stuff that you guys all know I'm not a fan of, but especially with the quick turnaround, it's not even 24 hours between games, and so it's an easy way for them to be like, "No, no, no." But if it was up to me, personally, if I ran things, I would say, "Marky, do you wanna play tomorrow? Do you feel up for it? Do you feel good?" And if he said yes, I'm putting him back in there, no questions asked, but that's not reality in today's league, unfortunately. But, another reason why I personally would do it is I would like to get him in a groove early, get him on top of his game, feeling dominant with his new teammates, and we don't play again till the 10th at home against Sheldon Keefe's former club, the Maple Leafs. And so to play 2 games in 2 days, then have 5 days off, I think would be enough for a guy like Markstrom to be just fine, but they're not going to risk it. We'll see Jake Allen tomorrow, and hopefully the boys give a solid effort like they gave Markstrom, and we win another beautiful one tomorrow. I think this game is a good representation of what we envisioned during the offseason. Great game, and we have to believe this team has another gear to be absolutely, Joseph. This is exactly what you envisioned with all those uh, acquisitions over the offseason with what Keefe and Fitz have been talking about all summer long. And this was it in real life. We saw it today, and we're still without Pesci and Luke. I mean, the defense and the roster overall will be upgraded when they're both healthy and in the lineup. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see this team just come together and win these battles throughout the year. Zach, everyone liked this video. Thank you. I'm not good at doing that in the middle of the video. Please like this video. Please check out the other videos on the channel. Like, share with your friends, all that stuff. Helping the channel grow is very important. It will present more opportunities for me to do cooler stuff to share with you guys in the future. It just opens a lot of doors. There's a lot of really cool things right now in the works that you will see in the month of October. Some projects that I'm really proud of, some kind of first for me, really cool stuff. I'll tell you guys now, I have a very big interview that's already been done. It's in the can. It was an in-person interview, none of this Zoom stuff. This was an in-person sit down, beautiful interview, and I'll tease more information on that soon. But wow, what a day that was for me. But a lot of cool stuff coming up on the channel. So please like this video, like the other ones. Check out the stuff from Philly last night. I was in the locker room, got to talk to Kevin LeBanc, the superstar of the preseason, and we'll keep it moving all season long, guys. Don't remind me of the start of last season. They were flatter than soda that season. No one likes a flat soda. That game 7 of the Devils Rangers series was the best day of my life. Oh boy. Listen, I'm older than a lot of you. I've been with this team, following them as a diehard, living and breathing New Jersey Devils hockey for nearly 30 years now. And, that game's up there. I mean, there's just so many, iconic playoff games and cup moments that I would put above it, but that's probably a top 10 in terms of, Devils moments or games that I was at or experienced. But if you haven't seen it, also check it on the channel. This channel started, heading into that playoff run. I have a ton of great videos from inside the arena and outside of the arena after games in the Rangers series. Rangers taunted as they leave the arena. Rangers fans getting taunted outside of the arena. Some cool kind of moments in the game. Everyone chanting Igor. So check it out on the channel as well. Tons of Devils Rangers Game 7 videos on there from that game that I was at. A beautiful night in franchise history where we dispatched Igor Shesterkin and the New York Rangers. Tatar needs to be credited with that second goal. Obvious tip. Prague women. Yeah, man. The Prague women. I've heard things. I've heard and seen some things. And maybe that was the special ingredient, perhaps, that was missing. Akira coming in and saving our season ruined the following season. We thought he was ready on that starting role, but he wasn't. And to that point, Doug, I think so as well. Akira maybe got rushed as a result of that amazing, at least playoff series against the Rangers. He kind of fell apart, as did Fanatics in the Carolina series. But I do think that, again, maybe gave Fitzgerald and the staff an overinflated kind of vote of confidence in him. And as a result, did not look to get a legitimate starting goaltender in the offseason. And that's an unfortunate thing when that happens. I wanted a starting goalie that summer. I thought Akira could be the guy, but I didn't think he was quite yet. And there was I don't know if they were strong, but there was some sort of chat, rumors, and things circulating about Connor Hellebuck. And I wanted Connor Hellebuck more than anything at that time. I wanted to see Connor Hellebuck join the New Jersey Devils in the worst way. It wasn't meant to be. Marky's here now, and hopefully it all works out for us. But maybe it was for the best. It sucks to suffer last season the way we did, but it is what it is. Water under the bridge. Last season was a lost season, and now we just look forward to this beautiful group we have assembled today with Jacob Markstrom in the net. Siegs felt the pressure. He played great. Competition just makes us better. Absolutely. Again, insulated from injuries. Guys feel the pressure. There's someone right behind you. Trying to take your spot. No Dirty Devil vodka, Marty. Oh, God. Well, this video brought to you by Dirty Devil Vodka, the official vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. Absolutely delicious. Check out their website. I'll put a link in the thing after where you can find it near you. Support Marty and his vodka brand. It's absolutely delicious. I'll be drinking it all season long. Thanks for the reminder there, Val. So happy we let Lindy go. The probs he had with our team last year were visual in the Sabres today. I just think, I don't want to keep kicking Lindy when he was down and whatever. He did a great job with this Devils group for the time he was here. He kind of got them from near basement of the league and brought us to a franchise record season and a playoff win. And, his systems or messaging or whatever kind of fell short. And sometimes I'm not blaming him entirely. There was a perfect storm of disasters for last season, the injuries and Mikey McLeod getting banished and all kinds of nonsense that happened all kind of blended together to create the perfect storm for the Devils to tank. And unfortunately, in scenarios like that, you got to shake it up sometimes. A new voice, a new message is needed. Fitzy went out, got Sheldon Keefe. I think he is that guy. And so far, with the constant preaching of sprinting and high pace and physicality, that's how you want to play. And we saw it tonight. It was beautiful. It was just like game 5. That was the day before my birthday. Game 5 was another great one. All those collect records, all those blonde check babes, they had the boys flying. It's possible. We may never know what it was, but whatever it was, keep giving them more of whatever it was. An absolutely beautiful showing. Jay Hughes on pace for 0 points. Oh, you guys are ruthless. Game 1. There was a beautiful stick save. Exactly, Selected Boy. It is one game. In my head, 2-1, but Hope Markey with the beautiful save. The save was ridiculous. There's not enough superlatives to talk about that save. It really was. It could be save of the year in game 1. I mean, it really could. I don't think that's an exaggeration. Would have liked to see a shutout, a great game. Absolutely. I'm greedy. The shutout would have been the cherry on the Sunday, but I'll take a 4-1 win any day, especially in the fashion that we had. Last year, this team would have self-destructed after giving up 1. It is true. It's kind of like, last year, once there was a little hole in the armor, it all fell apart. And again, I don't think that will be the case with this year's team. The personnel and the messaging, the coaches, Sheldon Keefe, I don't think is going to let that happen. These guys are going to be gladiators on the nightly, and I don't expect those breakdowns and lapses to happen anymore. This is a new team, new year, and hopefully they're playing for keeps and playing hard all year long, and we don't see those meltdowns. I would love to see that completely erased from the identity of this team. Goalie was a difference, absolutely. Love how they defended the center of the ice today. A lot of one and dones on Markstrom from that part of the ice. He's an elite high danger goalie. Yeah, I think he was pretty high up on the goals saved against expected or whatever list last year, and he was in the zone today. He was feeling it. He was absolutely feeling it. For real, that was a crazy save by Markstrom. I thought the puck was hitting the goal for sure. Everyone did. Everyone in the whole building. That was pretty much like automatic, and he found a way to get the paddle there. Are we signing LeBanc? I'd imagine we'd have to hear about this in the next couple days. I 1,000% would. I mean, why would you invite a guy? No one in their right, even the bank. If you were like best case scenario, what do you do in this preseason? In the last 3 games, you might, a goal a game and an assist, 3 points, 4 points, and that'd be like a very good showing. The guy went crazy. He had a goal, 2 goals, an assist, and then 3 goals, capping it off with a hattie. I don't know how you could deny him. It's not like he's looking for monster money. You give the guy a league minimum contract, and our depth just got even deeper for league minimum. Kovechkin, I like that. Great start to the season. Mark was nice. Love Dylan's game too. He's in the middle of every scrum. It's nice to see. We want to see the top line get cooking. Yeah, we all want to see that top line start delivering, and I think it's going to come in time. Hopefully, game 2 is where they kind of start to get rolling. But again, that is why the depth is so important. On nights where they're not producing and not delivering, it's not make or break. Like, no problem. They're not on tonight. Second line, third line, fourth line, defenseman. You get a goal, and you get a goal. And you get a goal. Everybody getting a goal. Goals from all over the lineup, and that is how you win games. That is how you win games. Hopefully this win boosts the confidence of the Devils squad. I think it absolutely will. Obviously, I don't think they were dwelling on the terrible preseason outing they had, but I'm sure it was in the back of their minds, as well as the failure of last season. And, they don't want to relive that again. With all the expectations going into last year, after the season before, with that playoff berth, they all know that they let themselves down, let the organization down, and let the fans down. And they don't want to go through that again. And so they are looking to turn the page and move on into the future with this new identity as a physical, speedy hockey team. Heavier, edgier, more violent. I'm going to the home opener. It's going to be absolutely stunning at the Prudential Center that night, especially if we win the second game and come home with 4 points. Good game from the boys. The stars will shine later. It's a long season. I agree with you there. It is a very long season, and we're just getting started. You can see how much we missed Dougie last year. Absolutely. When he went down, I was gutted. I knew it was going to be a monster loss. I didn't think it'd be as detrimental as it turned out to be, but it was a monster loss. It was a monster loss, and it's an unfortunate thing. Whenever a guy like that goes down, you hope that someone else could step up. But the reality is, with the group we had, Dougie was basically irreplaceable. Very unique skill set, and we never recovered. And then all the other injuries happened, and it all fell apart. Mikey McLeod got banished. Um, it was just one thing after the next. And like I said, the injury cloud is still here. Hopefully, we get past it and we stay healthy all year. But it's seeming increasingly difficult to try. Doug, Nemitz and Casey look very comfortable out there in their righty line. Absolutely, and that's why I feel like it might be harder for the coaching staff to push Casey down to the AHL than maybe someone else, because he is a true rookie. They are not only trusting him to be in the lineup, they're trusting him to play his offhand. I mean, that is the ultimate vote of confidence, as well as potentially give him looks on power play time. So to me, that's all signals of we really trust this kid. We like what he brings. Not too many defensemen in the league can play their offhand. Even in the postgame, Bryce Salvador was like, I can't play my offhand. I wasn't comfortable doing that. And he's like, that just shows how much they believe in Casey and his skills. And it is true. A very skilled young player with a super bright future in the league. The question just remains, when we are fully healthy, does he find a way to make himself a mainstay in the lineup, or does he get pushed out? Even if he gets pushed out, it's not really going to be, in my opinion, not on him. It's just that we have so many defensemen. So many defensemen. It's going to be rough out there for some of these guys. Also, Lindy looks so defeated, probably upset that he just jumped onto a sinking ship from the Devils cruise liner ahead to the Cup. Maybe. I mean, listen, I'm sure Lindy was a little heartbroken that he, was relieved of his duties as a Devils coach. He did bring us to our best season. He was a big part of the development of some of our young players, and I'm sure he wanted to see the whole thing through. But it was time for a change, and I'm sure this loss hurt him. But it is what it is. There's, take no prisoners. This is the NHL. Lindy's face after the empty net was great. 82-0 challenge is on. Listen, I don't need to go 82-0. Let's just have a strong regular season, have a 60-minute effort, get contributions from all over the lineup, and make this deep playoff run. We have the coach now who can take us back to the playoffs. Not only is he going to take us to the playoffs, I think he's going to take us far in the playoffs. I firmly believe he's going to take us far into – oh, my God. I just scrolled to the chat. You guys, my God. What a chatty group. What a chatty group. I love all you guys. Winning gets everyone very excited. It's just contagious. You see, even you guys right now, like, this is a very chatty group. A lot of people have a lot to say. This was a beautiful game. This game just got me a lot more excited for the season. I can't wipe the smile off my face. Neither can I. I'm on a literal high right now. As many of you know, obviously, I live and breathe New Jersey Devils hockey. They affect my mood more than I'd like to admit. And the reality is, when on a game like this, after the bitter taste of just garbage from last season, it's all been erased, at least for the moment. And I had high hopes coming into the season, and they delivered on the hopes tonight. A preview into hopefully what we see all season long. And I am just euphoric right now. I am feeling euphoria. This was what I wanted to see. This is what we all deserve. And this is what Tom Fitzgerald finished building this offseason. Carter already showing his worth. Absolutely. 2-point night on pace for 164. What's up, Traveling Devil? John, what's up, Devils Nation? Feeling amazing after this performance. Going to be a Dirty Devil Vodka night and Bloody Marys tomorrow. Let's go. Let's go. What a game. Chilling in Prague right now. Just brilliant. Philip Kelly, I am jealous of you as well. One of our regulars here, Traveling Devil, is also in Prague. Maybe you guys will run across each other at a bar somewhere or a pub and enjoy a beverage. 131 people in here and only 20 likes. Wow, Zach. I appreciate you, Zach. You're a pit bull for me out here. Only 20 likes. Doesn't that just show the fickle nature of human beings, right? It takes half of a second to click the button. Click the thumbs up, guys. What do I got to do to get a like out here? Oh, my God. That's abysmal, Zach. You just kind of put a damper on my mood. 20 likes. Hit the thumbs up. What are we doing? Unless I might have 84 haters in here. And bless the haters too. Inevitably, there's a good percentage of the people in here that are haters. And thank you. Everyone needs haters as well. But 20 likes is depressing. Wow. There's 131 people in here. I can't even see it right now. But thanks for getting my back, Zach. Hit the thumbs up. Dylan stepping in during after whistle scrum, Mason Cotter going right up the net, and obviously great goaltending by Markstrom. All things last year's squad lacked. Yeah, with the boys got some balls this year, guys. We got some balls, heavier, edgier, more violent, guys willing to drop the mitts, guys willing to go the extra mile, guys willing to take people to task. They will take people to task. This is not last year's New Jersey Devils. I can't stress that enough. The league is on watch. You are a NHL. You are on alert. Come try us. I wish you would. I wish you would. Several guys are ready to just get in there and just get it busy, get it cracking. You're not going to smack our skill guys around anymore and get away with it. Philip Kelly, there was 4 times more Devils fans in Buffalo. It seemed that way, and I wonder if that's all as a function of the Devils just being the more marketable team over the past couple seasons with our star players like, Hughes and Nico, or if that's the Palat effect of being a native from Czechia. I'm curious to know. I am going to opening night. Please give me the likes. What do I got to do to get a like? It was awesome how many Devils fans were there tonight. It did seem on television as well that it was predominantly a Devils crowd. Not really surprising, but if you're telling me 4-1, whoever just said that, it's kind of wild. Jack still looked tentative going for pucks. I'm hoping he's just getting back into the swing of things. Oof. Yeah, I mean, that injury could still be kind of lingering a little bit. Maybe he's nervous about re-injuring it. Hold on, I'm getting a call live on the thing. Hello? I'm gonna try to head over there in a couple minutes. New Jersey Devils hockey, a big 4-1 victory. I'll call you in a little bit. Big Devils victory. I'll call you back. I hope that's not the case, but you never know, especially with injuries with this team. Injuries are kept close to the vest, and we might not know. Hopefully, he's fully healed and he kind of gets in the rhythm and he just starts dominating. The like button is free. Smash it. The bank better than Holtz, without a doubt. I can't say you're wrong. I mean, I guess that also depends on what are we looking at? The next 3 years? You're talking about one season. I think it also depends on the team and how they're going to be used. I would think so with him only playing one preseason game prior to today's game. He was throwing the body a bit, which is surprising to see. Yeah, the message has resonated. It's hit home. Sheldon Keefe was like, you need to be heavier, edgier, more violent. You need to hit people. And Brett did that. 3 hits. What's up, Matt? He's also out in Prague. Jealous of all you people in Prague. Well, I'm here in New Jersey, but we'll be able to get a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese tomorrow morning before the game, and you won't. So kiss that, boys. I really hope the top line can stay together. It seems Jack and Timo always get split up. I won't be shocked if you see it at some point. I mean, I think you'll see some tinkering in the top 6, but we will see. Oh, that is awesome. Met Traveling Devil tonight, running with the Devils fans representing. I think it'd be cool if I get you guys to maybe come in on a live together at some point tomorrow on location. I don't want to push anything. Whatever you guys are capable and willing to do. I'm sure a lot of us pigeons that are still here in New Jersey tonight would love to get a little glimpse at the luxurious lives you gentlemen are enjoying right now. 4-1 and our stars didn't have a point. That's depth. That is indeed depth. Had the trade player like Holtz to acquire more physical attributes to compete against the Rangers, etc. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Paul Cotter is edgier, more violent, and we saw what he could do tonight. I take everything I said about Sieg's back. Yeah, he had a great game tonight. He did. Let's see if he can continue with it. Again, guys are trying to take his spot, and he knows he has to bring it every night or else he will be replaced. We have no shortage of guys looking to do that, especially on the blue line. Totally different team from last year. They need to get to forecheck going more, though. I think they will. I think they tired out. They kind of gassed late in the game, but really, 2 of the goals were produced solely off the forecheck. That Mason goal was not, last year we saw a lot of goals, rush and fancy bing bang, breakaways, 2-on-1s. We had sustained pressure and cycling. I feel like we haven't seen, regular dosages of just sustained puck movement and puck possession in the other team's end for a while. And you saw that twice tonight. The Nico goal came as a function of that, as did the Nason goal. And it's nice to be able to see the team score in that fashion and not just off the rush. Forechecking will be a big part of this Devils team success. And we're gonna get plenty of those, fancier, speedy goals off the rush as well, but we're not gonna live and die with it. And I feel like last year, that's pretty much that was the game plan. And once team were able to shut us down off the rush, neutralize our speed, we were kind of a one-trick pony, and we just kinda wilted and died. Devils look really good today. Defense and goaltending look great. Absolutely. Homie threw his body enough. Degenthal, I remember the camera was a cool view of him punching the guy in the glass. Sheldon Keefe deserves huge respect for that win. Couldn't agree more. Love me some Sheldon Keefe. I've liked everything he said leading up to camp, and I was, in the preseason, I said he's talking the talk. I want to see him walk the walk. Lazar is a beast. Lazar is always a beast. It looked like they just thought they were going to try and push the Devils around. Love that first period. Love the first goal. Devils being tough on the walls. Absolutely. Just winning battles, sustained pressure, cycling the puck, keeping it pinned in the offensive zone, and that's how you got to do it. Oh, Mark. Oh, Mark, traveling devil, you break my heart with pork roll. Oh, I'm gonna have to reevaluate our friendship, Mark. Pork roll. Oh boy, I didn't see that coming. Taylor Ham is life. Absolutely. Oh, here we got another one, Louis. Louis' stock just went down too. Louis, you're a pork roll guy. Come on, Louis. And here we go. Ted, it's Taylor Ham. There you go, Ted. I'm yanking your chain. People that are watching this from outside New Jersey are probably like, what the hell are these lunatics talking about? Oh, we're talking about the greatest breakfast meat of all time. I think I tried Scrapple once in South Carolina and, wasn't a fan. Wasn't a fan. Maybe I'll give it another try. I think, Mark, maybe you just, you've had to accept it being a Southerner now that you're like, "This might be the next best thing after Taylor Ham that I could get." Taylor Ham, egg and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Scrapple is Baltimore. I'm from Central Jersey. Oh, okay. Johnny Danks, what up, Ace? Let's go Devils. What's up, Johnny? Scrapple is crapple. That was the best first period we had in a full year. Shows Lindy can't get the team going before puck drop. Hey, listen, in fairness to Lindy, this is a much upgraded personnel grouping than what Lindy had. We have to be fair. It's not apples to apples. Violent gentleman, absolutely. Oh, man, you guys are super chatty. I can't even keep up. But listen, um, Devils win a big one, 4-1. I saw everything I wanted to see. Good defense, offensive contributions from the defense, scoring from the second line, scoring from the third line, scoring from the fourth line. Markstrom just looking like a man possessed in the net, looking like a Vezina caliber Stanley Cup championship team winning level goaltender. And I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. I have to go to my little nephew's baseball game. I promised him. But please check out the videos from last night. Your boy was in the locker room for the Devils/Utica Comets in Philly. I'm still reeling from editing all those videos. Didn't get much sleep leading up to the excitement of today. But check out the other videos on the channel. Really cool stuff. I have a bunch of other stuff from the last week or two. I have a ton of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. The month of October will be one of the biggest and most exciting for this channel because some of the things that are coming out are just stellar. Some stellar events coming. But I'll be back later or tomorrow or whatever, but I gotta go watch this little youth baseball game where my nephew will think I'm a jerk. I promised him I'd go. But great day to be a Devils fan. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Please hit the thumbs up. It cost you half a second of your time and $0.00. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go.